Hi everyone, welcome back to Habitual Entrepreneurship, where we build daily routines for startup success. Did you know that our brain constitutes only 2% of our body weight, while it consumes up to 20% of its energy? To make this energy consumption more efficient, our brain tries to automate a lot of our activities. This is why 40% of your daily actions are done on autopilot with minimal conscious thought. But you can become more conscious and intentional about these activities by understanding how our brain works when we want to build habits. This is exactly what we're going to do today. Look at how brain impacts the process of habit building. We have already looked at neuroplasticity, which is our brain's ability to reorganize itself by building new neural connections. The more we engage in a new habit, the stronger the neural connections become, making it easier for this activity to become automatic. Today, I want to look at 4 other neurological explanations behind habit building. FYI, I am not a neuroscientist, so please don't quote me on this. However, I find these neurological explanations very useful when understanding how we can build new habits and break old ones. So, let's go. The first explanation is synaptic pruning. As we consistently engage in a new habit, our brain undergoes synaptic pruning by eliminating unnecessary connections and strengthening the connections associated with the habit. Synaptic pruning is activity driven and it follows use it or lose it rule. This means the synapses that are rarely used are eliminated, while those that we actively use are protected from removal. For example, if you are trying to build a habit of daily exercise, the more you exercise, the neural connections related to exercise routine will be strengthened over time, making it easier for you to engage in this activity. Conversely, if you are trying to stop a habit, for example, like smoking or eating every time you experience stress, the less you engage in this activity, the easier it becomes for you to completely stop and disengage in this behavior thanks to synaptic pruning. The second explanation is related to neurotransmitters. The habit formation involves release of neurotransmitters such as dopamine that play a crucial role in our brain's reward system. Each surge of dopamine builds a neural pathway that tells you to expect more good feelings every time you engage in specific behavior. However, each surge of dopamine is so short that you always have to do more to get more. For example, checking off tasks on your to-do list releases dopamine, reinforcing the habit of task completion. The same does checking your phone and scrolling through Instagram. So it's up to you how you want to experience dopamine by engaging in healthier habits or unhealthier ones. The third explanation relates to the role played by basal ganglia, which is part of the brain associated with motor control and habit learning. It is a group of gray matter structures that control so many of our conscious movements. They control the speed and accuracy of our voluntary and directed movements. For example, driving through a familiar route involves basal ganglia as action becomes automatic over time. Basal ganglia also involved in executive function, helping us make decisions related to focus and attention. For instance, should I go and exercise or binge watch my favorite TV series? They're also involved in associated learning, where specific action becomes related to a specific outcome, which is how habits are built. For example, scrolling through Instagram or TikTok when you feel bored with the task at hand releases dopamine and makes you feel good at that particular moment. This good feeling then becomes associated with the habit of checking your phone every time you feel bored. The fourth explanation to habit building has to do with myelin formation. Myelin is a fatty substance which wraps around nerve fibers, improving signal transmission between neurons. Habitual behaviors lead to myelin formation. When you practice a new habit deeply, intentionally, and with some level of struggle, a new neural pathways are formed. Repeated engagement in this behavior tells your brain that this neural pathway is important. And then this important neural pathway becomes coated in myelin, wrapped in this fatty substance. Heavily myelinated neural pathways become then optimized for speed and efficiency. Meaning, over time, when you engage in this behavior, for example, like learning and speaking a new language, then over time, you become much more efficient in speaking the language. Over time, this new habit becomes the default behavior because the brain will choose the most highly myelinated pathway since they are the most important. This is why, with time and consistent practice, you can more easily and more naturally speak the new language. This might be too much neuroscience for you. So here are the key takeaways from these 4 neurological explanations to habit building. Building new or breaking old habits take time, consistency, and repetition. So stick with it. The more frequently and the more intensely you engage in a new habit, the easier it will be for this activity to become your default behavior. To build the habits you want, think about what rewards you can associate with this behavior. To get rid of unwanted behavior, try to disengage in this behavior, and over time, it will be easier to stop this behavior completely. Now that you are equipped with this new knowledge and understanding about the role your brain plays in habit building, I hope you will be more intentional and conscious about your actions. Till next time.